Hey everyone, this is NJ here, and welcome to my channel. This is where I talk about inspiration, motivation, and personal leadership and personal accountability. My favorite tagline is success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. That means you're going after what you've always wanted to go after because it's aligned with your highest values, and that's the only way for you to really live a truly fulfilled and inspired life. And you're the only person that can change the world, so you need to go out there and do so. And today I wanted to talk about the subject, it can turn. We may face difficulties and challenges, good times and bad times, and we may not know how we can navigate the certain issues and challenges that we may face. One thing I do know about this thing that we call life is that it has its ups and that it has its downs and has its dualities. You've got your good times, you have your bad times, you have the positives, you have the negatives, you've got the fun, you've got the not so fun, you've got the beautiful moments, and you've got the tragedies, you've got the upturns and you've got the downturns, you've got times when your stock may go up and then sometimes when it crashes, and you may have times when your prayers don't go any higher than your head, and there are times when you think that you've got everything figured out. And one thing I do know about these dualities is that it can turn at any moment. Your good situation or your bad situation can turn. And I'm going to share some things that I've learned from myself and other people's experiences about this whole topic of it can turn. Life can be based on this specific principle: opportunity mixed with difficulty. Opportunity mixed with difficulty. There are many times where you'll see things that are challenging, things that are difficult, an exam that you have to write, a job that you have to interview for, a business that you have to start, clients that you have to go after. And you will look at all these challenges and see that, like, listen, I'm not sure that I can do this. I'm not so sure that I can overcome this. And what you'll do is you'll miss out on the opportunity. But if you have the mindset to say that every single situation is an opportunity, you can take that difficulty and make it turn into an opportunity. I'll give you a great South African example. Adrian Gore, the group CEO of Discovery, he once worked for another insurance firm, and he had this idea for what would now be known as Discovery, and his idea was rejected and he did not get the support that he got, and he was met with a lot of challenges and a lot of difficulty and opposition. But he believed that every situation is an opportunity. He took that difficulty, started Discovery, and now they are a market leader in the health insurance space. For Adrian Gore, the situation turned, and you may be looking at this big challenge that you're facing, and the exam that you have to write, the gig that you have to go play at, the book that you have to write, and the person that you have to go speak to, and you're looking at all these difficulties, and you're not so sure that this can lead to a great opportunity. But if you have it in your mind that every situation is an opportunity, then your situation can turn. Because think about it this way: the difficulty of having to speak to someone can turn into the opportunity to start a relationship with them that can bless the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years of your life. The difficulty of having to write an exam is an opportunity for you to pass and to get a certification that will double your income. The difficulty of having to start a business from the ground up is an opportunity for you to set yourself apart and for you to employ hundreds of people and to give them a sense of purpose and meaning through the business idea that you have. The difficulty of having to expand the vision of yourself and wanting to move forward to the next level is an opportunity for you to do exactly that and inspire generations to come. So have the mindset that every single situation is an opportunity. The next thing I can know about this whole topic of it can turn is that failure and success are not permanent. Failure and success are not permanent. At any moment, your failure can turn and your success can turn. It can turn. Think about success. You may be going through a purple patch of success where everything is going well. The loans are being approved, or the job offers are coming in, or everybody wants to date you, everyone wants to be around you, or you're making profits and the money's coming in, the fame is coming in, everything is great, even your dog is barking at you because you're so blessed. At any moment, if you do not do the things that you need to do to maintain your level of success and keep on growing, it can turn. Think about it this way. One of my heroes is the star of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground is where I spend most of my days, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool, no shooting some people outside of school. When a couple of guys who wrote to me no good started to make trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight and my mom got scared and said, "You moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel-Air." He became the biggest star this world has ever seen. The very first rap artist to win a Grammy. Seamlessly transitioned into being a movie star and was the biggest star this world had ever seen. And at the height of his success, the zenith of his success, after many heartbreaking losses at the Oscars, he finally was about to win an Oscar, and then the slap heard around the world happened. Broke many people's hearts, angered a lot of people, broke my heart as well, because I want him to get on my podcast, get him on the show one day soon. And for him, it turned. And also, if you look at the Spanish national team from 2008 to 2012, they were the most dominant football team this world has ever seen, has ever known. They won the Euros, they won the FIFA World Cup, they won the Euros once again, and that team was comprised mostly of FC Barcelona players. Andres Iniesta, Xavi Hernandez, David Villa, Carles Puyol, we had Gerard Piqué. All of these guys were the heart and soul of that Spanish national team. And that Barcelona team also won 2 Champions Leagues. They were winning La Liga. They were dominating world football, the most dominant football inside this world has ever known. But now, people figured them out. Success is not permanent. So they said their fortunes turned. And who can forget in 2014, the 2014 World Cup, where they were demolished by the Netherlands, and they did not even make it past the first round of that World Cup, and they haven't been as successful and as dominant ever since. It can turn, so be careful. Because you're number one now doesn't mean you will be number one forever. Because you are wealthy now doesn't mean that you'll be wealthy forever. Because you are renowned and loved by everyone and things are going well, if you do not do the things to maintain your success, it can turn. And just like success can turn, so can failure. You can have been going from one failure to another failure, or have been making one decision to another decision. But one thing you know about having made multiple bad decisions in your life, you just need one decision to make it turn. I heard a story of a guy who his life was a constant turmoil of stress, anxiety, and addiction to drugs. And then he made a decision to say, I'm not going to live like this anymore. One decision. And because of that, he made that decision. His failure, it turned. Just because you failed at something doesn't mean that you can't turn it into a success. Make one decision and it can turn. You may have been failing at a course, make a decision to study harder, and it can turn. Your business may have been failing, make one decision to get the coaching, the mentoring, the help that you need. It can turn. Your relationship may have been failing, you can make that decision for you to be a much better partner. It can turn. At any moment, the failure that you're facing can turn, because you can make that decision. You just need that one day and everything will turn for you. So success, just like failure, are not permanent. Another thing we can know about it can turn is life is seasonal. Life is seasonal. I've heard a story of a speaker, Jim Rohn, And he was asked back in the 80s what the next 10, 20 years are going to be like. Because he had a lot of experience, he had a lot of wealth, spoke to a lot of people, very connected at that moment in time. And his response to the person who asked him that question, he said, "Gentlemen, I do know a lot of people. I do have a lot of influence. I do have a lot of knowledge. I have a lot of insight into how things will work." He said the next 20 years are probably going to be just like the last 20, because certain things will not change. After a recession comes what? Expansion. It can turn. After summer comes what? Autumn. After autumn comes what? Winter. After winter, spring. After spring, summer. That has been happening for thousands of years. So if you know that life is cyclical, the benefit is that you can prepare for it now. If you can be in a summer in your life when everything is going well, but it can turn because autumn is coming, and after autumn, brace yourself. Winter is coming, and winter is definitely coming. You cannot run from it. You cannot hide from it. You have to face it because winter is coming. And a winter means that it's times when your prayers do not go any higher than your head. There are times when your heart is broken into a million pieces. There are times when that investment that you tried out did not work out. There are times when you will not be getting that promotion on your job. There are times when your fame and your aura has just been diminished and you're out of energy. There are times when you feel like you are losing a loved one after a loved one. That is a winter. Those are the winters in life. And if we know that winter is coming, and trust me, winter will come, what we can do is prepare for it. You can be the person in winter. It's either you can freeze to death or you can ski or snowboard and have a great time. So prepare yourself for the winter. If you know that a winter is coming, you can be like the ant. The fable of the ant and the grasshopper. So the ant is a very prudent animal, right? A very prudent insect rather. All throughout the summer, it's working, getting its resources, gathering food, gathering its tribe together so they can store and have resources for the winter. The grasshopper was lazing around in summer, chilling, having a great time, looking at this ant and saying, "What is this ant doing? I'm just having a great time. Here I'm going to chill and relax." And then it turned, then winter came along. And then when winter came along, the grasshopper froze and the ant was prosperous. Why? Because the ant knows that life is cyclical and seasonal. It can turn. So that's what I wanted to share with you about this topic. It can turn. You need to know that opportunity is mixed with difficulty. It can turn. Failure and success are not permanent. Success can turn, failure can turn. It can turn, and life is cyclical and seasonal. So prepare for it. So the encouragement I want to give to you, I also give to myself and others, is that you can be having a great time. Be wary because it can turn. And if your life is not going the way you want it to go, don't be afraid. Don't be discouraged, because it can turn